And once again, I am talking about Kanagawa Nami, Okinami token. Okay, so a few things I'd like to talk about. First of all, let's do an overview. I want to talk to you about like why I'm still in Okinami, even though the dev hasn't said anything since November of 2022. 6 months, a little bit over 6 months. Second, I'm going to go into this Tengu scam thing, which was just an absolute embarrassment all around. But it was a good thing in the end. Some good came out of it because we were able to uncover a lot of untrustworthy people that, frankly, shouldn't be in the Okinami main chat, even, or any of its other groups. We'll go into that second. So, those two things. Why am I still in this token after all this time? I'm not the only one. There are actually quite a few people who have been in Okinami since day one and have not sold any tokens. Okay. And here I am just kind of sitting in my kitchen. I decided to go live today because I'm like, why not? I can address some things and maybe catch a few live viewers, hopefully from the Okinami community. Maybe the people who are interested in this Tengu thing too, because I'm going to tell you something about it. It's really important. So don't miss this. All right. So first of all, on the side of Okinami, let's talk a little bit about that one. Why trust it? Why I'm going to go upstairs because I'm going to go to my office. Why stay in it after all this time? It's a good question for even myself. Everybody has doubts. The foundation of any belief is not just an opinion, it's faith. But it's subjective because, well, I want to believe in unicorns because they're cool. That's very, very subjective thing. But let me tell you this, with some objectivity put on anything, I think most crypto projects that I've seen anything new within the last year, I'd have to say, and this is my opinion, I'd have to say pretty much anything in the last year in this bear market and the remnants of the last bull market, many projects are not trusted at all. Some people are just holding bags. Let me give you a few examples. Saitama. That thing, talk about Pepe being a huge success. Like Shiba Inu and such an early, just huge pump from the start. Pepe token possibly starting a whole new ecosystem. You know, I don't want to digress too much in this direction, but you know, I do want to talk a little bit about Pepe because it ties into everything in general. This was a huge meme coin, total degen play, shitcoin, meme coin. It came out with zero credibility behind it, a website and some other things, but it had some interesting background as far as what you could see on the blockchain, possibly some major deep pockets, influencers, and so on. But it stirred up this major meme bull market because there's kind of a mini bull market. The broader crypto market, I would say, is in a bear market, but there could be the start of a little meme coin bull run. It could be dead. I mean, this could be the end of it right here, and then it just picks up again, like in October maybe, for some of these coins. Altcoin, those that are which are not just meme coins but altcoins because they have really good utility. But anyways, it does tie into the bigger picture because there are some tokens like Xenu, Saitama. Um, those are two just on one. I like Catgirl. There's a ton of them. Dojilon. I have some questions about Dojilon, and I have some questions about mini Doge and baby Doge and all these other Doge spin-offs and Shiba Inu spin-offs, and like Xenu was one I really liked, and I was like, this is kind of cool. Zombie Inu, cool, whatever. It's a V2 now. It's a V2. I'm like, come on, and it's not doing much of anything during meme season. You would think to see some of the old school memes during meme season spike, and some of them did actually get a little activity. There was some actual activity. I did actually see Cat Girl get some positive activity. Xeno actually got a little positive activity. Not too much on Shiba Inu, a little tiny bit. But most of the old school meme tokens, they didn't do anything. They didn't do shit. Um, Excuse my French, but this is not a kid show. Uh, you know, all I can say is this: what is there left to have faith in right now? What token is there to have faith in? Bitcoin, sure. Even though Bitcoin's going through the BRC20 growing pain big time after all these years, 13 years. So BRC20s are coming into the whole picture. But Ethereum, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin. I think those are the two value staple trusted crypto projects, and some ERC20s, other projects as well. I think people still do trust Cardano to them for the most part. They don't know about how big Cardano is going to be, but there's still a lot of faith in that. And there's still some faith in Solana and Polygon and a lot of these other utility coins. But in the meme token space, there's Doge, and SHIB, but still have pretty good market. Dogilon, I was telling you about, thinking of ones traded on a CEX. Floki, Floki's another big one, which is it's sort of like the Elon Musk craze with Shiba Inu and Doge. There's a lot of things that came out of the Doge Shiba Inu meme bull run, and now we're seeing the frog. The frog narrative is big time. Pepe, I'm hoping Pope. I like Pope a lot. It looks like with their swap, it's going to be a great idea. But Pope is hurting right now, and a lot of tokens are bleeding out the wazoo. I'm surprised to see it's not a lot of volume, but Okinami did quite well today, 25% rebound. It seems to have made a new bottom, hopefully a new bottom now, and the final bottom at that. EdCon was this weekend, Montenegro, I believe. We saw Vitalik Buterin. I think he was wearing a traditional Slavic type outfit that representing kind of the people of that area. A lot of Slavic people live in Montenegro. And 48 projects, I guess, presenting. We should get more and more data out of that, but I can't look at much from that one to say, yeah, this is really boosting my gut about all this. Actually, not much information lately from the ETH Foundation either. But we've done a lot of research. I am in a research group for Okinami, and I will not talk about everything that is discussed in that group because a lot of these things are between me and everybody involved. I know some people are aware of this research group, and I'm in it, but we don't talk about everything in it. In fact, I don't. I take a solemn vow not to talk about certain things we know. And I don't even want to necessarily act like I'm in this crowd or in the know or an insider or of any kind. There's no developer in there. There's no dev in that group, okay? It's just community members who are researching Okinami, looking at the blockchain and anything related to it. That being said, it's a private group. Not everybody in the main chat is in the research group, and for good reasons. And I'll explain as an example. This week, there was a lot of conundrum, a lot of noise in the main chat. Okay. Excuse me, I need a drink. There was a lot of noise, and the token price did take a little drop. A significant one, at not just a little, but it was already kind of down. It's down way from its all-time high. I'm not so concerned about that because it's more about where it can go from its bottom as opposed to its current price. And I only care about the fundamentals underlying that. The research is not 100%. There's still a lot of speculation, still a lot of conjecture, but the research is so intriguing, it's so lurid, it's so in-depth at this point that we have volumes of documentation. We have volumes of documentation. I'm not joking. You can approach anyone you want that is in the main chat who's in the research group, and while we don't talk about many things we just won't talk about, I assure you we have done a ton of research. Anytime I hear anyone talk about Okinami and say, is the project dead? I get kind of upset. I'm like, there's a lot of people doing stuff. shilling, marketing. There's a live community. While it's only about 2,500 or so on the Telegram, it's that's the size of some small towns. Okay, 2,500 people, some very small towns. So we are a small community, yes, but we're looking at something much, much, much bigger than the entire crypto community itself. And what I'm talking about is mass adoption. When I say that's bigger than the entire crypto community itself, is because we have, I don't know how many crypto holders in the world, but let's just say once we get to 1 billion, that's a lot more than where we are right now. And the Visa, MasterCard, okay, credit cards using blockchain transaction and the technologies that brought blockchain for fast, reliable, inexpensive, basically money transfer, but also using crypto instead of just fiat, because it's actually like it makes sense. And in terms of credit cards to adopt some crypto into their basically their portfolio, because they deal in all kinds of currencies all around the world. You can have a Visa in France, Visa in Australia, Visa in Argentina, Visa in America. So let me just tell you this. What's about to happen, and they have their own blockchain departments, incubators, you know, technology incubators, which I mean to say, and their think tanks with doing tons of research within these credit card companies, and they've arrived at the point where they're like, we have to go with it. They've researched this for years, okay, and they're like, we're going to go into blockchain space. This is going to be the next thing. So history's changing. The whole financial system changing, integrating the blockchain, CBDCs, etc. Yeah, here's this Okinami underlying all this, and it came out in the bear market, and we don't know who the dev is. We don't know for sure. But in our research, we have, and I kid you not, you have to watch the videos. You have to go to the Telegram. In our research, we have come to find huge ETH Foundation, ETH developer connections with EIP 4844 and the surge. The surge being after the merge in the Ethereum roadmap. This is enormous. Unless you've sifted through even 10% of the evidence, it's hard to believe in. This is not a token for everybody right now. The only way it would be a token for everybody is like if our research was right, and here's a dev who is marvelous and connected and whatever, and here's this utility token that makes 100,000 transactions per second somehow work, being like a lead token of that ecosystem, this new ecosystem necessary for Proto-danksharding, eventually full-on danksharding. It's going to take years. So Okinami is like the beginning of this danksharding ecosystem of utility tokens necessary for the technology to achieve the goal, and it's going to take some time, of 100,000 Ethereum transactions per second. 100,000 per second. There's some big brains on this. Let me just tell you this from the research. I'll tell you the brain trust behind this is enormous. The financing behind this is enormous. There are some ETH wallets connected to this Okinami project that are in the high hundreds of millions. Okay, huge wallets. Little pause there because of my battery. Huge wallets connected to Okinami. Hundreds of millions in Ethereum. Okay. I can give you the whole litany of evidence. The 4 years ago, 40 days behind Shiba Inu's deployer wallet. The blockchain showing all these dynamic type transactions that only ETH Foundation people could do. What looks like a serious multitude of testing, Giroli testnet, hyper transaction type oddities going. It's like they're testing how many per second they can get. Let me tell you something about Okinami. They are testing and showing results for how many transactions per second they can get in perhaps maybe some type of lending protocol. My guess is that you could stake money and lend it out, kind of be a bank. Yeah, if basically the Bank of Okinami, the joke about the Bank of Okinami, this is just a guess. It'd be really cool if this is true. Is that you can make it basically there's a staking node. We could make a staking node. The community, there's nothing stopping the community from making its own staking node. Okinami could go out there, create a staking node, and it could help build the project. I think we could do it, but we'd have to pull resources together to make it happen. But in the end, just how Okinami is showing these signs of testing for something that looks like utility tokens, looks like a utility, and yet it's stealth launched. The dev July 2022 stealth launches the Ding project, okay, and disappears after mentioning the surge on the blockchain, November 2022. We all remember it. That message from the dev on the blockchain, the surge, was within 30 minutes or so. No more than 30 minutes of when Vitalik Buterin tweets the roadmap, updated roadmap for Ethereum, and you can see the surge with the wave near it, 100,000 transactions per second. We've talked about this ad nauseum in the Okinami main chat, and we've also analyzed it quite a bit in the ReSEArch channel, and I can tell you this much. EIP 4844 is no joke. It's a series of integration. It is a process. It's like saying we're adding on some Google to Ethereum, a search engine of that magnitude. A big project, and it has lots of layers to it. And I'm sure it connects to other layer twos, and I'm sure it connects, there's some interoperability perhaps necessary for it, but doing things off chain. I have a feeling that whoever's developed the EIP 4844 protocol, which Okinami will be essentially mated with and married to, however it ends up being integrated with the token address. But at any rate, I feel that Okinami, the same technology that's going to scale Bitcoin to solve the BRC20 problem, to make sure that Bitcoin is scalable and cost of transactions don't get out of control. That same technology is probably being developed by somebody who knows how to deal with scaling issues, transactions per second, cheap data. I bet you they wouldn't surprise me. There's some big technology, I think, going on here. And that's the big risk to reward. I'm willing to take that huge risk for that reward, to say I'd be willing to lose it all on the proposition that from the evidence that I see, this is part of something very big, and it's not something you just overnight have answers for people. When, first of all, the merge was delayed, and then that delayed the surge. Second half of 2023, stick it out. The second half of 2023, talking about 100K TPS, building into the 2024 first start or the bull run. It's going to be a 2024, 2025 bull run. I'm waiting to see what Okinami does through 23 and 24 and 25. I'd get more and more if I could. Okay. It's that good. This is a great opportunity to buy it down here. It dipped to the point where you can get so many tokens from, like, oh man, you should buy it. It's all about how long you hold in the end until you sell it. That's what it really comes down to. Because a lot of people buying down here are probably going to sell below, where the people who bought it much later on going to sell theirs. And so yeah, I'm committed to the project, and Okinami is one that I'm very much a part of the community. I support, and anything that would harm it, come to protect. And that brings me to my last subject. If you hear about Tengu Foundation, Tengu token, they fleeced a number of people in the Okinami community because Ryoshi 2019 on Twitter had this feeling of maybe connected to the ecosystem in some way, maybe like a offshoot from Okinami, and people are like, yeah, maybe this is something. So some people threw a little Ethereum in, and some people, I hope nobody put much in at all. I saw some buys like $1,800, and I saw some that were very small. I put only a very tiny amount in, like $50. I'm like, what the hell? Maybe I'm like, this is completely a crapshoot. I don't care. I'll get my skin in it to, be with the rest of the folks. And the folks we came out and found out, they rugged it. They rugged it really fast. They took all the liquidity out, had its little pump. We thought it could be a pump and dump. I'm like, whatever. That's meme season. Meme season has all kinds of degens and shit coins. Zach Humphreys talks about getting scammed. Austin Hilton he talks about getting scammed. All the big influencers talk about how easy it is during meme season for that to happen. So, if you lost a little, no big deal. If you could afford to lose, no big deal. But it's not cool. It's stealing from people. It's getting people's hopes up. Maybe people who put a lot more money in it don't know what they're doing or making crazy plays. But if you see Tengu token, it has nothing to do with Okinami. Tengu Foundation has nothing to do with Okinami either. NFTs have nothing to do with Okinami. Okinami's Okinami. We are not associated. Okinami in no way is associated with Tengu. We condemn that project. And it's a scam. It's a scam. So stay away from anything called Tengu unless, you see the thing all of a sudden become like Pepe and maybe like on all these major exchanges, and I'd be like, what the heck, man, that looked like the biggest scam ever. I would say that's the least likelihood of this at all. It does not look at all like it would have any legitimacy to it, trust me. It just, if you've been around the space long enough, classic rug, classic scam. Don't get sucked into it. All right, everybody, please like, subscribe, share, comment. Hey, thanks, Rick Jackson, for the comment. Damn, you lost weight. Thank you. It's because I'm starving. I'm so stressed out because of crypto, I can't even eat anymore. Anyways, give some love to the videos. I support Okinami. I'm there behind it all the way. This is an incredible project. I'm so excited for next half of this year. I'm like dying to see the information on the surge. It's not here yet. It's coming. This weekend to Montenegro, ETH Foundation stuff. We're gonna hear some stuff. I'm really excited. It may not be a lot of stuff, but it might be about the surge and EIP 4844, and still it relates. Anyways, please hit the button, hit the notices for next video if you're interested. Subscribe. I hope you enjoy the live, and we'll see you later.